Okay, so today I am actually double dipping, triple dipping and stuff on this deal, and I wasn't going to. So what's happening is, and I apologize, I am streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And then I added another platform here where I don't normally have this platform. And I used to live over there, and I do live over here. So I'm going to apologize to this group and just say, sorry, I'm going to talk to you at an angle because I'm going to stay with my original streaming today that I had planned for. So thank you for joining me today. I am Sherry St. Marie. If you don't know me, when you think of me or see me, just think real estate, almost anywhere for almost anything, because that's the way real estate has changed today. So what I am doing is I've been in the industry for a long time. I'm an OG. We don't want to lose the OGs who are with it. So those of us who have a lot of experience, we're able to swing with the technology. We could do lives, we could do AI, we could do, but I'm a real human being. I'm not a bot. I'm really Sherry St. Marie. And I'm the one who's getting at least the United States and then the world onto real estate live social selling and also real estate social selling. And this is what this means. I've said to you, pay attention. There's such exciting things happening in our industry right now. So many different opportunities to be able to use your skills. They're expected. A seller, sellers, you guys, your agents have to be able to social sell. So not this hardcore, what you see 8 hours a day on the China network of the women that are on there, just every 3 seconds, let's sell something. Let's do it nicer. Let's do it from a social perspective of I'm educating, but I'm not talking to you like you don't know what you're doing. And what I want to do today and each week on YouTube, I will give you something different in a chunk. Today, what I want to do with you is talk about new construction. I've been in new construction also for 22 years. I love the dirt. I've been primarily in the dirt with guys because it wasn't a lot of women, right? I'm one of the proud women in construction because I can hang for a long time. And this is what I want to help consumers understand. So this channel's for consumers. My interest is in helping consumers do a better job, not be so confused in this industry, but then also any of my professionals within the field of real estate in any realm coming along with us. If you're out of the industry, take what I'm teaching you and put it into your industry. This stuff works. So today I really want to talk to you about new construction. And I want the consumer to understand not every agent is able to do new construction. It's the biggest thing I could say loudly and politely, but directly to your face about. Not every agent or advisor on the commercial side know what they're doing in new construction. That's important. You deserve an agent or an advisor who knows what they're doing, understands construction, is not going to just write you an offer and see you at closing. It's not enough to do that. And yet I also want to point out to the real estate professionals, stop thinking so little and tiny and right here on your block. Start thinking about, there's way more than 7 niches within real estate. I just threw those out there in your title today. There's so many, and I want to share and show some of those pieces for you today. Like here's an example. We're going to start talking about residential new construction. I started way back in the day out in Wisconsin and on dirt lots for builders and all that kind of stuff, custom construction homes, not even a little bit of market ready, but not as many market ready. And I did everything between, most people cannot read a blueprint. We know that. It's okay. I got people who can. Commercial's got people who can. My job is to help you get there if that's what you want to do. So let's first go through a couple things in the residential category. So certainly there are a brand new home. And as I said, I live in Naples, Florida. However, yes, I can help you in Naples, but also I can help you almost anywhere because I have a very large team. What you want is someone that can help you get to the right agent that understands new construction where you want to buy it. Not everybody can, like I said. And do you want 20 agents calling you, or do you want to call me and I'll help you with what you need to get to the right agent to get to the thing? Also why it's live and social. So in residential, of course, we can pick a market-ready home. Market-ready would be a builder who has completely gotten this ready, and they go anywhere, right? From maybe you can get it from the 200,000s in the Midwest. I highly doubt it. I see an awful lot that's at 500 up. I'm down in Naples. I can get you something that's, up to 225 million if you want to. It happens here. But this is the piece. There are very different builders. There's very different quality. There's very different rules and regulations within each state and what you're doing. And so you want to know when you're moving into an area or you're going to build, who is this builder? What is their reputation? Are they a volume builder? Because we have a lot of volume builders all over the United States, right? Not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just, what is the reputation of the volume in that industry in your state? And then also nationwide, if you're going with a big national builder. If you're going with a small custom builder, they can be amazing. I've done that. You need to have some patience. If you're in the state of Florida, you need to have some patience because you're probably at a minimum looking at 2 years if you're starting from the beginning, or maybe 18 months. I have builders all the way up to luxury that we can start designing on a napkin. That super cool tropical vacation you had, and you'd like that feature in your home. I know a builder like that. That builder's actually one who did live with me back in 2020 in December for the first time. So let's go through a couple of these pieces. Your agent, if you are a seller or a buyer, need again to be able to write off their phone, which I've got my phone over here. I can't hold it. I used to FaceTime streaming clients all over the country and internationally off my phone, off Facebook, not even Zoom, back in 2009. And I would show them the lot and whatever, and certain cultures have different requirements. So sometimes they need to know the topography of the corners to check the legacy within the family of, do those numbers work? And is the corner higher and the lower in the right spot? We have respect for everybody and whatever their needs are when it comes to construction. So some of those pieces are important. Here's some different things that you can do if you are working in the real estate industry. And I want the consumer to understand this, and I'll just talk about the different ways things can happen. So I, as a real estate professional, can be representing and working for the builder. That means I work for the builder, not you. I'm nice, I'm professional and everything, but I work for the builder. We see that a lot up north, anything higher in the United States. We don't see it as often in Florida, but it can happen, right? So you can be working for the builder and the builder product, whether that be brand new or market ready, new construction, getting going for somebody, or any of that. You can go from regular price points, whichever that may be today, right? I think it's almost impossible to build any kind of a new home for under 400,000 anywhere in the country, and then, of course, up to the huge millions that we do represent down here. The other thing that can happen is you can be representing me as an agent. I can be representing you, the buyer. That's a buyer representation. However, it's for new construction, which again is different. The big things that happen are when you come from a legal perspective and specifications. What am I getting when I pay you that kind of money when I sign that contract? When I'm going with a dirt lot and we're going to put custom stuff on it, you need to know, what exactly am I getting? Are they 2x4s? Is it cement construction? What is are you giving me an allowance? So even on the big millions, you might be giving me just an allowance for that countertop. And then I might have some fancy taste and I want like quadruple of the countertop costs. Well, then does somebody have to put extra cash in there for that countertop? I mean, somebody does. I don't know who the somebody is. Or you have to switch it, if you can, from this category of your budget into here, right? There's change orders. Do they charge you for change orders? Sometimes builders do. They charge you anywhere from $100 to, I've seen them as high as $500, right? For custom construction change orders. You need to have yourself and your professional understand what's going to happen here. How does it go with this builder? Okay. I want to stop and explain something. And it does happen up north and over west and down here, but a lot in Florida. You can also be what is called an owner's rep. An owner's rep would be that person, that buyer who's going to buy the new house. And my job then is different. It is pieces of, representation, but functionally, I'm supervising, watching the builder. Is the builder doing what he is supposed to be doing or she is supposed to be doing? Did they put the right products in there? If you are going to hire an owner's rep, want one that is in town vast majority of the time. You might not think of this. Where would this end up happening? Well, we have people from Europe coming anywhere in the United States. They maybe want to build a house, but they're over there. Well, how in the world do they know what got put in that house? Are they on time? And builders, you're wonderful. I've loved you for a long time, but also sometimes they don't know you or what you're doing. And so my job is to nicely but firmly also make sure the builder's on time. Like I said, did his crew show up? Is the lot a mess all the time? We don't love that as the owners who are getting this brand new house with their neighbors who would like it to go well. These are all things that we're thinking about in types of, do you want somebody selling that new construction? Do you want somebody representing you? Do you want somebody representing the oversight of your construction? Just within the realm of real estate, these are different ways you can hire an agent or have an agent, or the builder can. Who pays for this? Just depends on how you see it on paper, right? So it can go any which way, as all things are negotiable. It is compensation. It is not commission. Compensation. We get compensated just like other people who work. Some of us do a really great Midwest job, no matter where we're happening to be working. That compensation can be asked for of the builder. That compensation could be the buyer may want to pay it themselves because I am no accountant, but maybe you want to write it off on your side of your taxes or whatever you're doing if it's allowed or something. Ultimately, right, it really comes off the cost of the house. And so a lot of it is you realizing you are not, even in a market-ready home, purchasing the same thing. If you're purchasing new construction, there's so many different elements to it, different things to look out for, exciting things clearly, because I've loved it for 22 years. It takes longer. So sometimes they're smarter, in the Florida Southern than up north. Agents get paid a lot of times up front or a chunk up front. Do you know why? We work our butts off for the whole time you're building. And in the Midwest, I did new construction. I loved it, but I would sit a year to get paid. Where if you're doing something, right, market ready or existing homes, you're done within 60 days a lot of times. Builders down here are smart where they say, we want these good agents bringing us really good clients. When I'm in the luxury category of real estate, what's important? What's super important is that the client is well cared for, that communication is well, that if there's any kind of conflict, we're able to smooth it out. Sometimes I'm the piece in between because I'm a translator of different kinds. I don't speak other than English anymore. However, I'm the one who sometimes translates between the trades and the beautiful buyer-seller situation, and sometimes between the blueprints, because they might be talking to you like you should have understood that in 2 seconds. And yes, you have a doctorate or you own this business, but you do not get what they just said to you. My job is this nice, comfortable back and forth. So those are a couple other opportunities. I think the other pieces that are in residential that can be good are, obviously, we have some people that are working. I do, for certain people, additional packages. And so I do additional packages depending on where I am. Are you coming from out of the area and do you need a tourism package? You might not think it's tourism up north or in the West. You do down here, and I do charge for a tourism package. What the tourism package does that goes along with getting a home is all the pieces of, let's say Naples first. Are you coming in and do you need to know where are the great restaurants to go to? Where are the good beaches? Where to take your company? Where might you like this? You might be on your own as a single individual and you don't want to have to go to the restaurants, or I have in the past helped purchase, because I was an Airbnb super host for 5 years straight with my youngest daughter, all of the things you need for the home. I'm not a designer. I'm just a regular female with female eye about what you might need. Those are some additional pieces and packages that I have done or do to make things easier for somebody picking. Now, let's say just up north, you might say, well, why? I don't need a tourism package. Well, yeah, you might. You're coming from California. You're not used to the Four Seasons or the schools or how to acclimate, because it's a different culture, social culture, depending on where you're living or where you're going or what's happening. And so there is a need for that. Agents, you can make life and amenities easier for your buyers if you're thinking about some of these pieces. You can also, as I said, in this category, go anywhere from regular price points to luxury price points. You can also go, listen to me, consumer and realtor professional. You can also go into specialties. So I gave you one example of a specialty of this tropitecture, custom built homes, right? You can also go into, and I have somebody, into print on demand homes in Florida. There are already communities going up like that. If you are somebody who wants to invest, I have people with land, and I'll talk to you about that a little later when we get into commercial, residential and stuff. There are people doing that already. There's a huge demand and need for it. Again, I have someone who just needed $3 million to get off the ground, to get going with that for investors. He's already got the work, the project, the land and everything. So you could go into a niche area. You could go into tiny homes, even on new construction, right? You could go into barndominiums, custom construction. You could go into any of these different custom pieces and developments that are fun. Of course, you can do it in Gulf new construction if you want to, or any of these great things. The other part, so my whole main important part for each and all of you is this: consumer, please know that your agent has actual experience within the new construction realm. It can be incredibly exciting. It is a great, great opportunity. Again, I'm talking to you about live social selling, and all of this great stuff. I will offer more products. I am for hire. Some people are decent on camera. Today, when I popped on this platform over here quick, who grabbed me? One of my commercial brokers for multiple states. I respect him tremendously. He's incredibly skilled, very, very smart. He and I have had a relationship professionally for the last several years. And when he saw me pop on live, he's like, oh my gosh, I want to do this with you. I want you to help me get leads, right? Of just in that. I go, listen, let's go live tomorrow on that platform. I have to be on it for an hour or it doesn't count, but let's do that. And let's see if we can get you some leads, some listings, some whatever. And my talent can range between on-camera talent. I'm licensed. That's the difference. You need to be licensed so that you're not causing trouble, because if you go live talking about real estate and you're not licensed, you could end up with a little trouble for yourself. So just be careful about that. I'm streaming from states I'm licensed in, so it's all good. And I'm going to come back to some of these comments for you guys. I just might have to catch it after the fact. But for you over here, I want to move in also to the commercial new construction realm to both give the consumer, the investor, the buyer, and also builders and agents who aren't good at this a little sight at. You can do this with commercial real estate very easily in the new construction realm. Here's some different type of things. So obviously you can represent the seller of new construction, commercial, anything. And I've seen stuff that's right between $200 million I can find you something 800 million if you need to out in California. Just call me. So you can represent the seller, right, of new construction, and how do you help them get going with their pieces. I'm going to stop and make one comment right now. I'm going to tell you, I'm on LinkedIn all the time. I'm very specific to who I connect with on there, but I have a really nice, great following, very important people. I'm going to tell you something. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, about this platform I'm streaming over here. They are popping in the comments and popping in my DMs like you would not believe. Like 100% more than over here, just as a point and an insight for you to consider with yourself and what you're doing with your business. But let's go back to new construction. You can also represent the buyer, right? You can represent the buyer on new construction in commercial. So I have all kinds of pieces that somebody may have started a project in commercial. They're fully entitled, which means they're ready to go. All of their permits are out. They've got raw, clean land. They're just ready to go, and they've decided to sell. I mean, do you want to pick that up? I'm from a brokerage, EXP, where we have 88,000 agents all over the United States and US. Because we are technology, because I'm approved by my brokerage to do all these additional extra things, I can pop on an app or a piece or a direct and get somebody anywhere and go, give me your best deal. Where's the building opportunity? How much money do you need? I'll get into private money in just a little bit. But these are some of the cool things that not every brokerage allows their people to do, and why I broker with EXP. But the range can go anywhere, right? From commercial. Let's talk about a couple right now. I'll share with you a few of them. I have somebody here in Naples, Florida, and you don't have to live here, or you could if you need it. So an example would be brand new construction in the luxury car condo is a thing here, if you don't know it. It is a very nice business. They are buying car condos from upwards of $500,000 for their little toy. I say it jokingly. We get a lot of McLarens and such, not what down here. Not that you don't in other places, because you do in other places of the country. Just let me know, I'll find you one. Where you can be the person purchasing it if you want to. I have done grand openings for them before because I'm good at it, and I make it fun, right? You can also be the person who's just investing to get the money going about the project or the thing. So you can be somebody who has cash and you want to just support or supply these. I also have new construction in the realm of brand new cement construction ready to go for small bays, anywhere from Fort Myers to Naples. I'll talk about other projects around the country that you can get into. But these are examples of either on the purchase side if you need that, the investment side if you want to do that to keep it cash out at a certain point or not. So you can represent the seller, represent the buyer. Listen to this. I, a lot of times on the commercial side, am multiple things. So sometimes I'm the collaborator. So I jokingly call myself the CCO. I'm a really great CCO personality, not in the details, but in the fishing, the big, huge throw a hook at a whale. Does this work out? I'm doing the introductions. How will this work for us? Whether it is a relatively medium project, I don't do smaller projects in that category, but in connecting people, because I hunt and vet. So I hunt and look, and I've got all these people in commercial from my brokerage, but also really important, not my brokerage, because we are broker agnostic. I can go find deals from this brokerage, my brokerage. Again, in my brokerage, I can get 88,000. I can pop into rooms that are like, commercial this week. At any disrespect to anybody, I know the agents that work well. I also know the particular different gendered, I will say, agents who work awesome with women and who don't. Why do you care? Your ultimate consumer may be female. Your family may have women in it. You don't want to be in a spot where you're talked down to, or they don't understand, or whatever. Can I tell you something else? Women do better on camera. Women do better on camera live, because sometimes we are more calm or relaxing or inviting to listen to. I mean, this is what we are, this is what we are. So a lot of people are saying, hey, spokeswoman type of thing, right? Of What are you doing and whatever? How am I pricing? It depends. So I may charge you a nice chunk to be on camera and do your live and any of that kind of stuff. I may, just like I will do tomorrow with my person who I've done multiple things with on the commercial side, say, hey, you do the backside, I'll do the pony show up front, right? In vetting and bringing people in and all this kind of stuff. And we'll work out a deal on the backside of what we're doing. When I'm doing the CCO stuff of introductions, and I am saying, hey, these guys have private money, I'm going to just do the introduction part because I am not soliciting private funds to fundraise because I don't have the licensing for that. If we have that, we go through a license and a state, and I particularly am using one of my commercial people with me all the time because I enjoy commercial. I love the fun of it. I don't like the super logical, very slow spreadsheet. That's not me. If you've met me before, you're not surprised. But again, I have different assets that I work and do and enjoy these parts in. Why I think that a lot of these pieces are super cool for both the consumer, for me sharing and showing this industry, is because the opportunities that we have to make this industry so much easier, nicer, modern real estate. Yes, we have AI, but also I'm not going to ever be a bot. My differentiation is being superhuman with you, being a really human, flawsome human being. These are the pieces that we need a lot as people are getting inundated with information, where a lot of things are coming at them at the same time. And they're saying, oh my gosh, this is, a lot. We need people that are skilled and can watch the soft skills, right? Of, oh my gosh, I saw your face and I just saw you get overwhelmed right there. So can I kind of back up? Or, whoops, Sherry, you were a little bit too much of a cheerleader there. Back up and be quiet because the logical needs to take over. Those are some of our individual skills that we are doing in this category, which is awesome. Again, a lot of mine is this introduction piece. So I want to point out a couple things for the general public, but also for consumers. Here's the thing. Do you know how much it cost me to get 22 years of experience, to be on camera since I was 5 years old, to be able to understand the realm of I can do residential, commercial, here, up there, any of those kind of pieces? It wasn't cheap and it wasn't fast, but it was long and it was important and it was fun and it was exciting. And yes, I'm an OG, but I'm also a younger behaving, even a Z behaving sometimes in the modern world of wanting to connect all of our generations, of me respecting their ideas and pieces that they have to come forward to in the marketplace. I am also obviously a woman at work. I have 3 children that'll soon all be married. I'm going to be a grandmother for the first time. I'm excited in the world of work, mostly for the way we live, to be able to connect and do it better so that it works well for people's lifestyles. It works better for their business. It creates amazing opportunities. There is no limit. There is no limit to these kind of abilities and being able to pop on. I do, and for very important people, I still do one-on-one in person for you for real estate. I do that primarily by word of mouth, but now obviously a lot's going to start popping off on social media more than it has before. I love that. I enjoy that. I need to do that because I'm a really great real estate professional as long as I stay modern, up with the laws, but more importantly, relevant to you and to you as an investor, as a seller, as a buyer, that I know what that feels like. I'm going to take a minute to share with you a couple other things I wasn't going to cover here, but it's just really important. And we're going to just let my phone ding. I'm sorry, my phone's going off, but this is what happens. Here's the piece. I've been in a realm of all over the place. I have been even at, 19 years experience where I ended up with, because they were people, one person I tremendously cared about that had a home that the person needed help out of that had a hoarding situation. It was incredibly heartbreaking, very, very difficult. Clearly, it wasn't the person, it was the person having a hard time. You need to be able to understand that in real estate. And in fact, I also got another one because people down the road saw me do this with somebody who was another situation of hoarding. However, it was guns and pets. I am a 5'2" female. I had to be able to maneuver that situation because it was COVID. I had 3 kids in college. We needed to keep things moving. I was able to handle that myself. I appreciate the fact that I had the experience. It could have gone badly. I was lots of conditions on that one that just were, I will not do it again, so don't ask me. However, I did it because it was really important. There were people that needed to get out of that house that are now moved out to California. I was not allowed to have the open house other than 2 hours, and I had a list of family members I wasn't allowed to let in there. And in fact, one of them came on the property, and I ended up in an altercation possibility with trying to protect one of the family members with this other family member outside the house. I mean, listen, I don't really want to do that stuff anymore. Can I? Did I? Yes. Real estate professionals don't have to do that stuff. There's so much of our job in safety we shouldn't have to do. When I take a look at where I've gotten myself to now with the number of experiences, the technology that we have available, the fact that I live in Naples, Florida, but also my family is up in the Midwest. I can also travel and vacation anywhere, right? I have different projects where I have people that are from Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, right? They got things going on in California with, celebrities and things like that. And they are letting just certain people in as investors. I mean, it's kind of fun to make those introductions and have this ability. And then what I'm able to do, if you keep watching what I'm talking about of all these different realms, you are able to, as an agent or as a professional, get yourself into a spot where I have a piece of business here. This is where I'm here in person. I'm committed to you. I will make sure it works. But I can also pop on a plane and get up to my children whenever it is I need to. That's priceless to me. When I go up there, I always get business down here. When I'm down here, I get business up there. This is more of what everybody, I don't care where you are living. And today our topic is new construction, so I can even stay on that. You're in a very small town, in a particular place with new construction, you still, the second you get on live, are everywhere in the entire world. I did a live last week. Where did it end up? Where was the buyer who called me first and immediately? Holland. So I'll give shout outs to wherever you happen to be and all of these pieces. But what I'm helping people understand, both within my brokerage, between the 2 states and all over the United States, and I'm a certified international property specialist, is this. All the agents from our brokerage, both commercial and residential, none of them should be talking like I used to. A little mom up in Middleton, Wisconsin, putting the signs in myself, because I already was with an international brokerage that's bigger than I think most brokerages, that did the #1 transaction size in North America last year. And yet everybody says to us, what is EXP? I've never heard of it. And I just go, happy to help you if you'd like. Again, these are the pieces why we switch out with this technology. We switch out with opportunities. We switch out with the way realtors are working these days, or our commercial advisors, to have the ability to be in a brokerage that multiple things, right? Has enough ability to support their agents so that we could support the consumer. That's the whole point. The whole point is the consumer. I'm here for the consumer. That's a phenomenal thing. When you have a brokerage that's $1 billion brokerage that's debt-free, when we watch some of these brokerages, sadly and unfairly to a lot of them, going down because of all of the costs that the consumer doesn't understand. I was an independent little mom shop for 17 years in Middleton, Wisconsin, while I raised my kids. I get it. But today I wouldn't be on my own. And every brokerage has a right to be their own style and their own everything. I'm not saying we need that. The consumers need that. We need discount brokers. We need regular people. We need all that. But I'm just saying these are the pieces that are leading to the ability to have really great opportunities. And again, especially in the new construction area, because there's a lot of brokers that will not let you do new construction. because it's litigious, because there's so many moving parts, because so many agents don't understand it, because things can go not well. Now, let me tell you some more fun stories. Should we? Here's the stuff that's fun. So a lot of times in new construction, whether it's commercial or residential, literally even today, they start on a napkin. And I love that. They start on a napkin because I'm like a big idea person. You, the person who either wants that new construction commercial business or you want residential, you might be out with your friends and all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be super cool to have this piece in here? Yes, start that little circle on the napkin. Make that little note for yourself, right? And these are the things that can be super cool for people. Then you go into blueprints, right? And lots of people are looking at blueprints or watching HGTV and going, oh my gosh, I need this, every single thing. And it would be like 1.2 million, but your budget is respectfully 400,000. Some of those pieces we have to help learn and teach. But to be a little bit of fun, what I'm going to show you is just a couple little pieces. So here's, I'm going to make some points to teach and help consumers, but also you as the agents. In new construction, here's what it is. There are mass builders where you do not get a choice, right? There are a lot that were in COVID that you don't even get a choice on your flooring period, sorry, because you know what happened and why it happened, and it's good for you to know. Because during COVID, it was very difficult to get supply. We had everybody at home remodeling because all of a sudden now they're stuck with their whole family and they need just a little extra help in that bathroom downstairs, to brand new construction where people were buying up everything. Shipping was hard. All of these things matter. And so then a lot what happened across the country was no custom changes. You will get it as is. And I'm not kidding you, even down here in Naples, some were at $2 million and you did not get to pick out a toilet holder for your new house. You had to have it as is, as the designer picked it out, no changes. Here's a piece to understand in the luxury category of custom construction. And it can be fun, but I'm going to give you a few tips. Anybody who tells you that they got divorced because they built a house, they didn't get divorced because they built a house. I can tell you 22 years of experience, there was other issues before you started building the house. Most likely. So it does take a little bit more communication to be able to build a home, right? It does take will you both be the deciders on the new construction? It is, my job is to listen to what you tell me, right? So it is, sure, you deal with my wife. I really don't want to know all these details and I don't want to, because normally I go, oof, I have two legal people in it. You're both going to get the group text from me. I'm not talking to the wife on the side. So then you hear later, oh, whoopsie, she did how many bazillion thousand? I thought you knew about that. Typically, my policy is you both get communicated, copied on everything. This is the way we go. If you direct me different, I might ask you to put it in writing so that I know and my brokerage knows that's what you asked me to do. But here's an example, right, of I'm even going to show you an old school note. 14 million custom construction that I looked at last Sunday. Here's the thing with that. It is gorgeous. I look at a lot of new construction all over the place. It is a gorgeous house. It is designed very cool for the right person. When you walk in, it is a view that is just unbelievable. It has the separated, gorgeous guest home with amenities that are, here's the thing. For that particular buyer, I mean, if we have a retired sports person or somebody who wants to, maybe you should call me. But you have to be somebody who doesn't want to be in a gated community with that expensive of a home. You have to be somebody who doesn't mind in the Naples area, and this may shock you, where you've got a tear down kind of close to your 14 million for now. Somebody's going to eventually keep tearing down. But you have to be okay with that. Again, the home is gorgeous, but a lot of my job working with buyers is that what you want for yourself, or if you happen to have a family, or however it happens to go for you? Those things matter. Here's another one. I got to carefully do this because I'm right. Gorgeous custom construction that is on the water, but on a canal on the water. Let's see how much this one was. 21,000, or excuse me, 21. That'd be great. I'd buy it. 21 million. There's some pretty cool features on this one. There's a couple things I would do when you're going to furnish it. The pool's phenomenal. But on this one, there's an upstairs and it's gorgeous. I can't show you this well. Ooh. You have to want an upstairs. There's people that are not wanting an upstairs. There's people that up north, that's normal. Up north, a basement, my last basement, right, or second to last basement up there, 1,900 square feet for a basement in Middleton, Wisconsin. Down here in Florida, we don't have them. Where do you need your square footage? I got a call from somebody yesterday. Why are they moving? Because they have that bonus bedroom upstairs without the door in Florida at a particular age where they said, my friends won't come here even free to stay in Florida to visit and entertain because the stairs are too narrow. They met code at the time the house was built, but the stairs are too narrow and there's no door. I'm not going up there to stay. No, I go, they got to stay at Naples free but at your home, but okay. But I understand. And so we're selling that entire house and getting her something on a first floor that meets her needs now with her children getting married and whatever might come from that to get her into the right position. And I know the things that she does or does not want and is looking for. These are the pieces that also matter when you are working in new construction and you're dealing with people that are coming from different states and different situations. You can't be as an agent, whether it's in commercial, whether it's investments, whether it's whatever, you can't have this attitude of, oh, I only work right here. And so that's how I'm going to talk to you. And this is what we're going to do. You have to be an understanding of most people are not coming from down the block for you. They are not, they are coming from another place and they may not know. My first boyfriend here was a 14-foot alligator. I'm not kidding. And I came from Middleton, Wisconsin. So when I'm coming out my development one certain morning, because I was needing paint right away on freshening things up, there was a very large, during mating season, 14-foot alligator. And I'm in my little Jeep. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how do I get out the gate? Like, what do I do? And I'm also worried about my neighbors. If they walk out that gate, he's right there. And they may or may not be able to handle that, right? These are examples of where real estate professionals or you consumers deciding, who do I want for my professional? What am I comfortable with? What do I want to do or not do? These are the things where we have to have greater awareness than just right at my block with the one thing I think I am selling or really providing service for. I appreciate all of you showing up. I'm just checking our time and I'm laughing because I'm getting all of these pops up here. What I'm going to do is for this group, I'm going to actually end our live because we're right here on time. I've shared with you today what I wanted to on new construction, both in residential, commercial, and at least 7 niches you can think about. Or contact me if you have opportunities or things like that. And I'm going to end that live and I'm going to pop over here with you guys into another 20 minutes so I get my 1 hour in with you. I appreciate you guys so much and I will see you next week for our next topic. I got to get this turned off. Oh, 1 second, guys.